So we'll take over a Windows computer. This time we'll use a tool called MSF Venom. So the way the takeover works is the victim is using a Windows computer, and they just start a program, bat.exe, and once they do that, we have complete control over their computer. So how do we do that? First, we need to create the program itself, which we do on our Kali Linux system. And second, it's a reverse shell. So it connects to our attack box. So then the second step is to make our computer listen for connections. Okay, so first step is to create the program. And you can do that using a program called MSF Venom. So it's a command line program that's MSF Venom, which is available by default on Kali Linux. Then we can list the possible programs it can create. So if you type -l payloads, let me just make it full screen, you'll see that it can create programs for many different systems. So it can create reverse shell programs for Windows, you'll see many different Windows programs it can create. It can do so for Python, for PHP, for Mac OS X. It can do so for Linux and also some other systems, for example Android, iPhone, all kind of systems. It can create a program that will connect to your computer and you can take over. Now, because we're using Windows, let's first use the PowerShell payload, which is like a default Windows shell. So we'll start creating the executable. We need to type MSF Venom -p with the payloads. So we'll use the Windows PowerShell reverse TCP. Then we need to specify our computer's address, so our server IP address. The program will connect to our server. And so, of course, we need to have a public accessible IP address. If, for example, if you're using Kali on a DigitalOcean or Vultr or something like that, if the computer is on the same network, you can use your network IP address. So I'll type IP_show to get our IP address. So that's IP_show. That will give you your IP address. We'll specify that. Then you need to specify a port, which can be any number between 1 and 65,535. And just remember that these two numbers, so your IP address and the port, because you'll need to use it later on. Then the file format, so every Windows program is an exe file or executable file. And finally your file name, so greater than file name. That will create the file on your attacker computer. Now, it might take a moment to create. Then, if you go, you'll see the program is created here, bat.exe. So the victim needs to start this program. You can try to send him by email. You can try to send him a link, or maybe like install this game or something like that, such that he runs this program. And then the second step, as we said, is to set up a listener. So because, of course, the user can start the program, but the program will try to connect to your server, and if you're not listening, nothing will happen. So in order to start listening, we type MSF console -q. And now that starts the Metasploit console. It just takes a moment. Then we'll say use exploit multi-handler. Then we need to use the same reverse shell. So this one. That's the payload. So set payload with let me just make it full screen, with the same payload. Then the IP address. So lhost will specify your server IP, which is the one you set before here. So the program, that's your server IP address. Then the same port. So we're listening on the same server on the same port, obviously. And finally, we just type run. So that starts listening. And now we just wait for the user to start the program. So let's say he starts this program. And that gives us access to his Windows computer. You'll see C: here, which is typical of Windows computer. So now we can type the Windows command prompt commands, for example, dir, which shows the files in this directory. So now we have control over his computer using the Windows command line, the Windows command prompt. Now this is nice, of course, but there's a more powerful shell you can use instead of the payloads we created before. So we use the Windows, the PowerShell reverse TCP shell, which is nice because you can control using the command line. But there's a more powerful shell, which is called the meterpreter reverse shell. So in this case, we specify meterpreter reverse TCP, and it just has many more features. So meterpreter reverse TCP. Then everything else is the same. So you might want to save it as a different program. So we create a program with this step. Then we need to set up a listener, and the program, of course, needs to be on the victim's computer. So you need to send this program over. We type msf console -q. That starts the console. Use exploit multi-handler. Then set the payload. Set the server IP. And set the port. Run. And now we wait for the victim to start the program. So let's say he starts the program. And we did something wrong. Maybe our IP address 196.8. Now we have the same IP. Okay, so let's create the payloads again. Instead of TCP, it should be HTTP. So that's this command to create the Metasploit reverse shell. So always make sure your payload is correct, otherwise you'll get issues. In case you're wondering, you can always type msfvenom space -l payloads, and it will show all possible payloads. Okay, so now we have the program bed2.exe that needs to be transferred to the victim's computer. So either email it or make him download it, or say it's a game or whatever, such that he installs and runs the program. Now the next thing to do is to set up a listener. So we type msf console -q. That starts the Metasploit console. We type use exploit multi-handler. Then we type set payload with the same payload. Just enlarge it a bit. Set the host to your server IP address and the same port. Oh, sorry, no equality sign there. And the same port. And finally we type run. So that starts listening, and we'll start the program. And that will give us the meterpreter shell. So if you type question mark, we can do all kind of things. We can list the passwords on his computer using hash dump. So those are hashed passwords. You can play audio sounds. So you can play music. You can open the webcam or record sounds. You can do some things with the desktop, like set the desktop or screen share, screenshots, send keyboard inputs. You can do some system commands like execute programs or stop programs. Basically, you have complete control over the computer. You can do some networking commands and also file system commands. So the meterpreter shell is more powerful than just the PowerShell. You can do more things. For example, you can do hash dump, which shows the users and passwords on the computer. Now the usernames, of course, it's useful, but the passwords are stored in a hashed format. So these are the hashed format, and hash formats can be cracked. So if I go to a website called crackstation.net, I can type in the password and click crack, And now we have the administrator password of this computer, right? The crack station just gave us that password. So Meterpreter has many options. One of them is hashdump, which shows the usernames and passwords. If you type !enter, you'll see all the options. You can play sounds, do some things with webcam. You can do something with the mouse. Execute a command. Maybe some networking commands like see the network interfaces or network connections. Or you can just browse the file system. So for example, if I type ls, you'll see we can browse the file system. So we can say